Hey everybody, it's ShadowHackSword99, back again. I've always been here. I haven't been gone for 5 months. You've been gone for 5 months. But to be serious for a second, I wanted to make a video real quick because I finally had an idea for something. Now with all the new teasers finally coming out, there's something DRG related to talk about while I work on my other videos. And unfortunately, it's going to be some complaining. I have a lot of complaining to do, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that. With the new teasers finally coming out, looking at them has got me kind of concerned about the future, and that kind of got me reflecting on the past. And thinking it over, the season format is not working for Ghost Ship games. So I want to get into my issues with the upcoming season, but to kind of get at the root of what I think the problem is, I kind of need to go back and explain the issues with all the previous seasons and sort of break down what the fundamental problem with the season format is. The reason why I'm approaching it like this is because I think that there's a lot of issues surrounding discussion of the seasons, and I think a lot of people are kind of talking around the point without really meaning to. So I think breaking down the problem with the format as a whole will really shed light on what's been kind of going on with the most recent updates. So kicking things off, Season 1 was awesome. We had the robots showing up, a new rival company. I was a little salty because there wasn't really any lore, and I'm still a little mad about it, but whatever, it's not a story-driven game. They stuck to the theme of a new company showing up to start its business on the planet, and we had to shut them down. So we're on the offensive, and these new robots are on the defensive. We're interrupting them as they're just trying to set up operations. Season 1 is awesome. Perfect. Couldn't ask for more. Then we get to Season 2, and Season 2 is where the problems start to kick in, because they introduce the theme of rival escalation. So the rival company is, as the name implies, escalating things. They're starting to fight back. But what happened is, we didn't really see that. It wasn't going along with the story. And I don't just mean story in like the lore sense. Like I don't need a paste bin of like a massive text document going over the history of the company. What I mean is that the gameplay does not reflect the story that they're telling us. The robots are supposed to be pushing back against us, right? That's the whole thing. They're escalating things. And they kinda did this with the Menace, which is cool. It's a robot that's like built to hunt down dwarves. But they didn't really do anything aside from that. They added the rival communications router event, but that's us attacking them again, not the other way around. It would have been cool to see the robots interrupting regular missions, aside from the Menace I mean. Something more to make it look like they're actually trying to push back instead of having this one-off event that happens every now and again with the Menace. And I think this sort of caused a domino effect of issues, because this update did feel like Season 1 again. It didn't feel like an escalation, it felt like a repeat of what we had before. And that's what people rightfully complained about, but I think that caused Ghost Ship games to learn the wrong lesson. Instead of learning to stick closer to the theme of the season and actually try to build up that theme through gameplay, they learned, don't do robots again. No, sorry, actually it's worse than that. The lesson that they learned was never try to build on or continue a theme ever again. And so Season 3 comes around, and we should have picked up on the warning signs they dropped by how much they emphasized they weren't doing robots again. At first we were all happy because we didn't want just Season 1 again, but I think that was a very big red flag that we ignored. Because as much as I praised Season 3 when it first came out, after 7 months, I kind of gotta admit, it's not very good. So starting off with the issue that I mentioned from Season 2, it doesn't build towards its own theme. It's supposed to be about the rockpox, a virus spreading across the planet, but we don't ever see it do that. We see the meteors fall down, and we see infected bugs, but we never see any bugs get infected, and we never really see the infection spread. It's just kind of there when we get there. It probably would have been a lot cooler to have the bugs spreading infection to each other and to see it actually taking over the planet. Now, I get it would be pretty annoying if, like, the rockpox stuff you have to cover it with goo and clean up spread around and, like, slowly consumed the map if you didn't deal with it right away. But I think just having it spread to enemies would be fine. And I know people complain about the rockpox enemies and don't like how they're handled, but I'll get to that in just a second. So you've got the issue already of it not really fitting its own theme. And then you've got the new issue of the fact that all the new events are very boring. So if Season 2 had been its own thing, completely disconnected from the robots, and you just reskinned the Season 2 events and made them their own unique thing somehow, it probably would have been a very boring season as well. But what it had going for it was it could lean on Season 1 and the really good stuff that Season 1 had. Not only that, but they added the new secondary weapons, which were just absolutely insane. That was a ton of content right there, a ton of new builds to try out. New weapons are a really big deal, so even if it weren't connected to Season 1, you could get a lot of mileage out of those new weapons. And then Season 3 rolls around, and it doesn't have the robots to rely on. It's its own thing, kinda lackluster, and all it's got to back it up is the grenades. And while the new grenades are good, I love them, they're awesome, they're not enough to hold up an update on their own. And I know it might seem kind of unfair to Season 3 to call the update lackluster, but the thing is that the new content we got is mostly reskins. We got 3 new Rockpox enemies that are reskins of existing ones. The new Meteor event, if you really think about it, is just a reskin of the Hacking Pod event from Season 1. And then you have the Meteor Shower variant of the event, which is a variant of a reskin of a pre-existing event. I guess the Meteor Shower event is a little different since you have to go and break all of them open with your pickaxe, so I'll give that like half points. But as you can see, vast majority of the content from this update is reskins. So combine all that together and then make us wait for 7 months. And now you can probably see why I feel very disappointed with Season 3. And now we can finally get into my concerns for Season 4. So during the 5th anniversary live stream, we found out what the next big thing for the next season was going to be. And what we got was new enemies. That's it. Me leaving in that silence, by the way, that wasn't an error. I just wanted to emphasize that that's all we got. That's it. That's all we got. And so we've got a similar problem to Season 3, where I don't think new enemies are going to be able to carry this season on their backs. I don't think they add enough. Just to be clear, I'm sure that all of them will be well designed. I'm sure they'll be awesome. The new one we got, the Glyphid Stingtail, I believe, that one looks really cool. I just don't think they're going to be enough. And then another thing I have to complain about, it looks like 2 of the trailers we got focused on an arcade machine in the space rig. And I gotta be a little mean here, I gotta be blunt, I don't care. I just do not care at all about stuff to the space rig. It's nice to have, but I'm there for Deep Rock. I'm there to play the game. I'm not there to do side missions in the space rig. Not even side missions. Side missions would be good. But just mini games. I'm not there for the mini game when I can play the actual game. And like, I know that that's a little bit mean of me. I'm sure they put a lot of work into it, but I really feel like they're putting effort into the wrong type of content. Why are they not putting effort into the main game itself? Why are they putting effort into the side game? And the only reason I'm complaining about this so much is of the 4 leaks we've gotten, half of them, 50%, I know it's only 2, but 50% of the leaks so far have been about this arcade machine in the space rig. Why is it so important? Why are they putting that much emphasis on it? I don't care. I do not care. And it might seem unfair for me to say that they're focusing on putting unnecessary content. They're focusing on the wrong kind of stuff. But we actually have already seen this. The new seasonal events like Easter and the Christmas event, according to the developers, those took a lot of time and energy. And like, that's great. I'm glad we got revamped seasonal events. That was something I actually had on my wish list. But it ate up a lot of development time. And I think it's negatively impacting the rest of the game. So we've already seen them being negatively impacted by putting effort into this wrong sort of stuff, putting it away from the main game and into side content. Now, I could be totally wrong about all of this. You know, the next update could come out and it could be super great, better than Season 1, and I could just be, red in the face, embarrassed that I was worrying over nothing. But I know it's stupid, but I do feel worried. I feel scared. This is the first time I've felt nervous about a Deep Rock Galactic update. I liked all the updates before this. I even enjoyed Season 3 when it first came out and only soured on it later. And this is the first time where I'm genuinely worried that a Deep Rock update is going to be not good, bad even. So, at least to me, what makes sense is that the season format is not working for them. They need to either just get better at building towards the specific theme of the season while mixing in new content, or, in my opinion, they need to step away from the season format and stop trying to balance getting better at getting seasonal content to work and building towards that theme with gameplay, and just focus on adding the new stuff without all this extra fluff that kind of is starting to detract from the main game. If things follow Season 3's trajectory and continue to go downhill, I think it's really going to start being a detriment to the game. And so I think that they should find a way to move away from the season format as soon as possible. Now, to be fair, they're still pretty new at the season format. They got it out of the gate really well with Season 1, but it's unreasonable to expect them to never blunder anything. So they could come back from this. And like I said, maybe Season 4 will be great. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, have egg on my face, whatever. If Season 4 is not good, then I think that that's the sign. Okay, you tried the season format. It didn't work for you. Pack it in. Because Season 3, as I've mentioned already, but it does feel really half-baked. And that really is the downside of how they took the wrong lesson from Season 2. It's kind of sad that they seem like they're never going to revisit a theme again, because Rockpox could really use some fleshing out. If they added more to it, I think they could make it a lot better. But for now, it kind of seems like we're just going to be stuck with this half-finished idea laying about. And that ties right into another thing I'm worried about, which is that every update from now on is going to be like that, where it's just going to be kind of half-finished and not really fully fleshed out. And they're just going to hop from update to update, and eventually the game's going to get super bloated with all this just unfinished content lying all over the place, and really just making the game look a lot worse by comparison. I'm sure the core gameplay will be great, but it doesn't matter how nice your mansion is if you got a bunch of half-eaten food laying all over the place, it doesn't look very appealing. So those are kind of my thoughts on Season 4 and the season format as a whole. Sorry that it was negative, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now. So ultimately, if anyone at the Ghost Ship Games team is listening to this, I'm sorry if I didn't use a lot of the right words and it comes across like I think you're not putting a lot of effort into this. I want to be very clear. I'm certain they are putting a ton of effort into this stuff. I just have a lot of fears because the quality of the content is kind of starting to drift a little bit. So I just think this kind of has to be talked about before it goes a little too far. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Leave a comment down below to anyone who disagrees with me if you think the season format is working great for them, if you're super hyped for Season 4, and you think I'm a big, stupid, baby idiot head. Tell me that. I want a comment right now that says, Shadowhaxer99, you're a big, stupid, baby idiot head. Just let me know. But, you know, hopefully things are looking up, and I'll probably make some more videos when we see more of the actual gameplay and we find out what the actual theme is. And I'm hoping to be making videos a bit more often. I'm still slowly chipping away at 2 massive video projects that are taking way longer than I ever thought they would. But hopefully those will be done, and I'll try to work on some new stuff and try to maybe do some more loose form videos like this where I don't stick to as strict a script. Or I don't know, maybe this scriptless format was really boring because I had all my ums and where I just paused for a really long time. And maybe you hate it. Leave a comment letting me know that also. But until next time, I'll see you around.